Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today we're going to be cooking from a new to us book. I think I got it for Christmas last year and it is almost Christmas this year. And I have not yet been brave enough to cook anything from it, especially on camera. I kind of planned to cook and take pictures and do like Instagram posts of it because a lot of them just seem like a lot of work and difficult. But this one doesn't seem so bad, and my son requested it as one of our Christmas cookies, and I found that there was a recipe in here, so two birds, one stone. We're making Snickerdoodles from Stella Parks's book, Bravetart. I know her from Serious Eats. I've used some of the recipes before, but have not cooked anything from this book at all. And if you don't know, if you haven't seen the book, she has a lot of different additions that you can do, different variations of a recipe that you can do. So for this one, you could make bacon snickerdoodles, or banana bread, or cookies and cream, or oatmeal streusel, or Tahitian coconut, or a gluten-free option. But we're just going to make the base recipe today. And I've measured out all my ingredients. My oven is heated to 400 because that's where we need to start it at. And we're ready to get going. We're supposed to sift the flour, which I'm not going to do. But instead, I generally sort of whisk it to get some more air in it, to get some lumps out. My flour is not generally lumpy, but I have weighed this instead of measuring it with a measuring cup, just because she does include those measurements and it was a lot easier for me. She does suggest using, she says, such as gold medal. So I don't know if that's her basic. I did not go back and read all of the stuff in this book to see what her specific favorites are. I use King Arthur, but it's just all-purpose flour. So whatever you use, I'm sure will be fine. But in a mixer, we are supposed to combine butter. This is unsalted butter, and it is not supposed to be completely room temperature. It's supposed to be cool but still pliable, or pliable but still cool. So she says about 60 degrees. I took it out maybe a little bit too long. Some things happened, and I did not get everything going as soon as I wanted, but it's okay. And then to that butter, we're going to add some coconut oil. She says it can be refined or virgin. I have some extra virgin coconut oil that I've had for a while, and it is supposed to be solid at room temperature, and it's supposed to be basically at room temperature at about 70 degrees. And since it's winter, that's about where I keep my house. We are also going to go ahead and add some other ingredients that a lot of cookies don't add it immediately. Sometimes they add these things with the flour, not all of them, but so we're going to add sugar. That I also weighed, and that is pretty standard to add to the fat. But to this, we're also going to add the salt. She specifies diamond crystal kosher salt. If you use table salt, she says to use half, which is about right in my estimation. Some freshly grated nutmeg, which I did measure, and baking powder. So all that has been measured. And we're also, I need to get a measuring spoon. We're also supposed to add our vanilla. And it is quite a lot of vanilla. This is vanilla that I made myself from vanilla beans and bourbon. Yes, I think this is bourbon. Yeah, this is my bourbon batch. I'd also made a vodka batch, but I think I'm out of, or almost out of that. Didn't have quite enough. Okay. All of this needs to, we're supposed to mix it on low speed to start. Get that up there. And then we're going to increase it to medium and beat it for like 5 minutes. So low speed is just to sort of get everything together, sort of moistened. And then we're going to beat it for 5 minutes. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes because I don't need you to watch this for 5 minutes, but I'll show you what it looks like when we decide it's done. So this has been about 5 minutes. We're going to call that good, but I'm supposed to crack a cold egg directly from the refrigerator into it while it's running. So I stopped it just to tell you that. And we are supposed to scrape it down once in the middle. I scraped it down twice because I think I did a little early and then I wanted to do it again. So turning it back to medium and beating in the egg until it's all combined. That looks pretty good, just in the time that it took me to clean up after cracking the egg. And now I'm going to turn it to low, turn it back on to low, and add the flour. She says, just, it doesn't say to do it in batches or anything, just sort of all at once. So I do have a chute I should have used, but oh well. Now the instructions don't say to do this, but I am going to scrape down the sides at this point and get some of the flour off of the top, and hopefully not too much on my countertops. Definitely some. She says this will form a stiff dough, and it does seem like it's going to be pretty thick. That looks good to me. So I'm going to get as much as I can off of my paddle and put this away and be right back. She says that you can make very large cookies, like 1/4 cup, or you can make a more standard 2 tablespoon size. I think that's what this is. This is the size we're going to make. The only real difference is the baking time. So we'll see how many of these we make, because she does say that this should make 26 2 tablespoon cookies, or 13 of the double size, the 1/4 cup size. We're not going to bake these just like this. I'm just using this sheet to hold all of them for now. It looks like I got like 33, 30 something. So I expect them to bake a little bit faster than hers. That's okay. For the topping, the rolling cinnamon sugar. So that's what Snickerdoodles are, a basic sort of sugar cookie that's been rolled in cinnamon sugar before it's baked. I have the sugar that I weighed out, and regular ground cinnamon, plus some freshly ground cinnamon from a cinnamon stick. So, which I've never done before, but I mean, and I'm not sure I'm sure it's fresher. I don't know why we need it for this recipe, but, and I'm just going to mix them together. This is a very cinnamon forward mix. It's a lot of cinnamon to sugar, but you can adjust this how you see fit. So there we go. And I have my my new pan with clean parchment paper, and I'm going to roll these and roll them in the cinnamon sugar until fully coated. Put them on the baking sheet and flatten them to about a 1/2 inch thick. So about like that. And continue doing that until I have probably about a dozen on this sheet. They're supposed to be 2.5 inches between them. So I'm going to put a dozen on this sheet and that's it. So I'm going to keep doing that and I'll let you know how we need to bake these when I'm done with the sheet. She does say to generously sprinkle the tops with the leftover cinnamon sugar, and I'm not going to get them all on a tray first before I put some in because we got things to do, but I am going to sprinkle some extra cinnamon sugar on top of all of these before we put them in the oven. Feels like I pressed down some of them a little bit more, but anyway, so these are going to go into the 400-degree oven for about 6 minutes until they begin to spread. And then we rotate the baking sheet and reduce it to 350. So we're going to have to be putting our oven up and down while we do different ones, but it's okay. So, and then after that, it should take about 5 minutes for the small ones or 8 minutes for the large ones at 350. We'll see how long these ones take, but I'm going to do 6 minutes. Rotate, turn it down, and then we'll see. So with this size of cookie, I decided to pull them at 4 minutes at 350, and now this is very, very hot. We're supposed to cool it for 10 minutes on the baking sheet, and then you can eat them. Or let them cool even longer. Up to you. I'm going to keep baking these, and we'll show you what they look like and let you know what we think in just a second. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make Snickerdoodles from a new to us book, Bravetart by Stella Parks. That's her name, yes. It was the very first thing I ever made in this book, and it turned out pretty well, I think. I made mine a little bit smaller than the small version that she suggested. So she suggested a larger cookie or a smaller cookie. Basically, a larger one is double the size of the smaller one. I ended up making, I think it was something like 32. So yeah, 6 extra cookies. So it was a little bit smaller than her small version, but it was fine. I cooked it like a minute less on the second round. So I think total, she said for the small one, about 11 minutes. I cooked mine for about 10 minutes total. However, the subsequent batches ended up a little bit browner than the first one. They're still delicious. They're not burnt, but I got some of them here. So you can see this is from the first batch and this is from the second. So the bottoms are a little bit browner. The tops are a little bit browner. Sometimes I had a little bit of the sugar came off the side and made a little bit of caramelized sugar on these batches, which they didn't on this one. I think it's fine. I do think it was because you have to turn the heat up and down, and I was not waiting until my oven was back up to 400 degrees because I was in a rush before I put them in. So I just put them in while it was still heating up. And so I wonder if that was just too much heat at that point, because the first batch, it had been 400 for a while when I put it in and then turned it down to 350. Anyway, so I thought I'd show you what these look like. This is one of the first batches. I've already tasted one of the second or third batches. They're kind of crunchy at this point. They were good warm, but they'll be great like this too. Let's see. They're very tasty. I used some extra virgin coconut oil, and I can definitely taste the hint of coconut in the cookie, which I really like. If you don't like that, I would suggest using a more refined coconut oil. It has less of that coconut flavor, but I haven't tried that to be able to say that that will definitely get rid of it, but I like the addition. You can also see some of the pieces of cinnamon that were a little bit larger than the ground cinnamon you can buy. So you see those, you see that. I used my microplane to grate a cinnamon stick for that as instructed. Well, she said freshly grated. She doesn't exactly say how to do that, but grated cinnamon, not ground. So yeah, I think it's an interesting change, an interesting variation on a snickerdoodle, and I can't wait to see what my snickerdoodle loving child thinks of them. I think he likes coconut, but I don't think it's so overpowering that he wouldn't like it even if he didn't like coconut. We'll see. But if you've enjoyed watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and come back and watch me make something else next week.